WHOW.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. The Clinton YMCA has released its end-of-year data for 2025. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, CEO Rennie Kluver told the Heart Media Group they do not only does the Y membership continue to grow, but they also continue to see excellent participation in their programs.
You know, as the year goes, I rarely have a time to stop and really analyze, because it's, one thing to the next, and we're just keep plugging away on our mission and our impact. And so when I'm able to sit down at the end of the year and go through all of our numbers, it's nice to be able to look at it and go, gosh, it's more than, it's just, because sometimes it's mind boggling of the impact that the Y has in our community. And so just some numbers I wrote down to share with you guys today is in 2025, the number of program participants that we had. So could be some repeats. Well, let's take, like, say your kids, if they were in soccer and Y zone, that's 2 participants. Mm-hmm. They're one person, but so total number of participants, all of our programs was 4,519. This one is just, really blows me away. So in 2024, if you come into the Y and you're a member, you scan in, so it shows that you had a facility visit. Mm-hmm. In 2024, we had just over 34,000 facility visits from members. Mm-hmm. And now that could be you coming in 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. It's going to count you 3 times. But from our membership, we had 34,000 plus scan in. And that does not include all the people that come through during Reindeer Classic, our swim meet. Those people aren't members. There's over 700 people that come through there. Or if I just did a pre-K basketball clinic on Saturday, and none of those kids scan in. Those parents don't scan in. And so it's, kind of gives you the amount of foot traffic. Now in 2025, we had over 38,000.
Wow. Really?
So what that tells me is, one, our membership is increasing. So obviously that's part of the numbers, but the importance of health and wellness in the community. And that just always is exciting, because we've talked about it. If I could bottle up that desire to have a health and wellness plan, and if I could sell it, I would, just because routine.
For Kluver, he seeks out data that shows the impact of the Y, from how many zip codes are members of the Y to how much money they put back into a program for kids, families, and nonprofits.
We have probably just over 2,200 members, which is awesome. Out of those members with those facility visits, there's about 1,300 members that are extremely active, and that says a lot to our community and people that are just in the zone, right? And understand that. And it's neat to see that the Y can be that place for them. And a couple other statistics too, as far as the Y, and we've talked about this, we are a non-for-profit. And at the end of the year, we're just hoping to be not below in the red. We don't have all this revenue that we can just spend on whatever, but we also, being a non-for-profit, a 501c3, we give back. And there is several things that the Y does that I don't even keep track of, as far as letting groups use the community room. If they're a non-for-profit, we don't charge them. Or the school using it for programming. And that collaboration with the school and us is great, because they don't charge us to use their facilities either. But we gave out over 130 $100,000 in membership and program scholarships.
Wow. No kidding.
And that's where Strong Kids helps. Our goal every year is 100,000. If we get that, so there's still a $30,000 we got to make up. And so
I was thinking it was 50, but 30.
So that's, and it
cool
varies. One year, like last year, maybe we gave out 122,000. Just depends on the year. Sure. And then just programming. So let's, kids to take swim lessons and be on swim team and to do soccer and basketball and all the other programmings that we have was just under 20,000 that we gave in scholarships for that. It's great to be able to do that, to show the impact, to give those people an opportunity, those kids an opportunity to be at camp or at Y Zone. And so looking at those numbers, it just, that's what we're there for. And that just really helps solidify the impact and that we are so much bigger than that little facility.
Kluver touts the Y's commitment to keeping the facility affordable. While they did raise memberships this year, he points out that those increases in recent years have not kept up with the increased costs the Y has seen. Additionally, it has been several years, but the YMCA also eliminated the sign-up fee. Visit clintoncomymca.org or visit their facility on South Alexander Street in Clinton to learn more. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, U of I Extension to host Little Sprouts program. Local outdoor authorities are reminding boaters and fishermen of a portion of Clinton Lake that is annually closed off until the end of March. Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman indicates that the lake from the Route 48 bridge and DeWitt Bridge is closed off until the end of March. He reminds this is something that happens every year because that area of the lake is a refuge area for fish and waterfowl.
You got a lot of fishing still going on the bridges, the 48 DeWitt Bridge. I've been out and about. I mean, you're seeing up to 20 vehicles up there and countless people fishing the shorelines. I just like to put the reminder out that area between the DeWitt Bridge and the Route 48 is still closed. I believe it's March 31st is when we're going to reopen, when it gets reopened. So they close it every year, mid-October to end of March it's a waterfowl refuge area. So it's restricted. It's a restricted area. There's no fishing, no boating. You could walk the shoreline if you really wanted to, but as far as playing in the waters, a no-go. It's a $195 ticket. We've kind of lost discretion as far as enforcing that rule because of the amount of people that are still going in there on a consistent basis.
According to Officer Workman, this change is not new to the lake, but they continue to encounter frequent visitors to the park who should know better, disregarding the notices about fishing in that restricted area.
It's been going on for a while. I've been in this district now 5 years. I believe it's 5 years this year. Every winter and early spring, it's a constant. When I'm doing my rounds, I'm constantly looking in the same spots where we're getting consistent people that'll go in there and fish. So it's nothing new. I have noticed a lot more traffic this year than I have in the past as far as people doing it. And that's where I think the discretion on my end has kind of just been, I don't know what else to do. I could sit there and write warnings all day, but it's not, the point is not being driven home that this is not where we're supposed to be. And you'll get a mixed bag of people that are from out of state that might not know. And I got a little bit of leniency with people like that, but you got locals that grew up here and they've fished here for 20, 30 years of their life. It's just deliberate. Or like the resident, we get a lot of Chicago residents come down. They know the rules. And it is. And I was talking with the other DeWitt County officer, Jeremy, the other day, and he'd noticed that people were, driving off road and going around gates just to go fish down by the Weldon boat ramp. And it's a deliberate disregard in some instances.
Officer Workman reminds that area of the lake reopens on April 1st. Visit dnr.illinois.gov for more on fishing in Illinois. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
It's time to celebrate winter. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. Yes, we have extra savings on all new Chevrolets this month to celebrate the winter season. See our inventory of Chevrolet Trailblazers, Blazers, and the efficient Trax. We also have a good selection of our 7-passenger Chevrolet Traverse and Tahoes. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See our winter celebration savings at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 20 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The University of Illinois Extension is introducing kids of all ages to agriculture. Ann Reinbold with the Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties explains that 4-H and the Master Gardeners program are teaming up for a new program aimed at getting students thinking about agriculture, whether on the farm or in the garden. She says the next session comes up on February 21st at the Blue Ridge Township Public Library from 10 to 10:30 a.m.
Well, the other one that I did want to highlight is Little Sprouts is with 4-H and Master Gardeners. We are collaborating. This has been new this year, and I have been the coordinator that has collaborated with the Master Gardeners. They have been wonderful to just use their expertise, and then the 4-H side of things as well. We do have a program coming up on February 21st talking about houseplants, succulents, and that will be at the Blue Ridge Township Public Library over there in Piatt County, 10 to 10:30. That's open to all ages, and we're just going to really dive into houseplants and succulents. So that should be fun. The kids that are, coming to these programs, we encourage you that whether you are 8 or you're 10, 15, even, 16, we want you to come and try things out. And we are kind of, experimenting with a bit of a model of having adults there and their children. Please stay with your child. We really love that overall collaboration of, as a family, you're learning something together, and hopefully you can take it home.
Trying new things is a value of Reinbold and the 4-H program as a whole. She is trying to teach students that you should not quit something because you are not good at it the first time.
We really tried to have opportunities at these workshops. Hey, take this home and try it out. Trying to give you some confidence so that you can walk out the door and say, okay, I can maybe try that on my own and kind of experiment with it. So yes, a huge part of 4-H and all of our programming is try it out. It's okay if you're not perfect at it right away. I'm a perfectionist, so I really had to learn that when I got this job, that it's okay if you're not perfect at it right away, because we all had to be beginners at some point. So February 21st, 10 to 10:30 at the Blue Ridge Township Public Library there in Mansfield.
Register for the Little Sprouts program by February 20th at extension.illinois.edu/DMP. Reinbold reminds that they will host the event once again on March 21st if you are unable to make it this time around. As part of the nation's semi-quincentennial on July 4th, the Illinois America 250 Commission has unveiled the first ever passport to Illinois, inviting residents and visitors alike to explore the places, people, and events in Illinois that have shaped the nation's history. Among the 56 historic sites, museums, and monuments featured in the passport is the Western Illinois Museum in Macomb, where Jock Headblade is with the Macomb Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, known as Unforgettable Forgottentonia.
Now, Macomb stands proudly at the crossroads of Illinois history, where travelers can walk the same footsteps as Abraham Lincoln, who as a young lawyer and politician visited Macomb often. And they can see that legacy brought to life through our Looking for Lincoln sites and the one-of-a-kind Living Lincoln Topiary Monument. Or stroll our historic downtown square and explore Western Illinois Museum and the everyday artifacts and voices that make history tangible. As the home of Western Illinois University, it's a place that's shaped by ideas, and Macomb has always been a small town with big ideas. Take, for instance, Lizzie McGee, a pioneering feminist and artist and inventor born in Macomb, who created arguably the most popular board game in history, Monopoly. And today we celebrate her legacy through Macombopoly, transforming our 17,000 square foot downtown into the largest interactive Monopoly game experience in the world.
Passports are free and will be available at public libraries, highway visitor centers, staffed passport sites, and other locations throughout Illinois. More info at il250.org. Through an Illinois Pork Producers Association contest, a Champaign County establishment is home to the state's best pork tenderloin sandwich. Jeff Buckler is owner of Buford's Pub in Sedoris.
It's just hard work and dedication, a lot of it, but we make them almost every day. We made 500 yesterday. But it's, you trim the pork, make sure you get all the fat off, and then you cut the size you want it. We run it through a tenderizer and tenderize it, and then we soak it in buttermilk and egg, and then we pull it out and we season. We season it and then soak it, and then we pull it out and we run it through cracker meal and seasoning, and roll it out with a roller, and freeze it and send it on down the road.
Buford's Pub features hand-built tables, a large outdoor deck and bar, live entertainment, and a menu anchored by its signature giant pork tenderloin. It's Girl Scout cookie season. Jennifer Sedbrook, who was hired as the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Illinois chapter in 2024, says they are launching a new cookie this year.
This year, we have 9 cookies, including our new one that you mentioned, Explore More. And I love the name of that because it really reflects what Girl Scouts do. They explore through camps, they explore themselves, they explore new skills, things like that. So we're really excited about that new cookie, and that's been flying off the shelf.
To find out where a Girl Scout will be selling near you, visit getyourgirlpower.org. Sales run through March 29th, with proceeds benefiting local Girl Scout programs. Enrollment for the continuous option of the Conservation Reserve program is underway, signaling the start of upcoming CRP signups throughout the year. Rod Bain reports. Now for your local obituaries. Holly L. Grimes, 69, of Clinton, passed away at 4:57 p.m. February 13th at the Ark at Normal in Normal, Illinois. Arrangements are incomplete at Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. Best of all, it's all free all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news is now.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The Reverend Jesse Jackson is dead. His family says he died peacefully this morning. Jesse Jackson was 84. U.S. and Iranian negotiators holding another round of indirect talks over Iran's nuclear program. They're playing the blame game over a serious public health threat just outside Washington, D.C. It's a massive sewage spill into the Potomac River. President Trump is blaming the state of Maryland, while Maryland's governor blames the feds. Investigators say a shooting at a Rhode Island ice rink was a murder-suicide stemming from a family domestic dispute. The gunman and 2 others are dead, 3 other people in critical condition. More than 3,000 Christian broadcasters from 40 countries gathering today in Nashville, kickoff of the 85th annual convention of the National Religious Broadcasters Association. On Wall Street, stock futures in the red. This is SRN News.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let them know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. From Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company.
I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me, one of the most beloved songs of all time.
I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to ride off into the sunset? No more struggles or pain?
Comes the highly anticipated I Can Only Imagine 2.
God is in fire. I mean, it's beautiful.
Imagine what God can do again. I Can Only Imagine 2 in theaters this Friday. Rated PG. Parental guidance.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Slight chance of rain showers today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 60. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 52. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Right now, 38.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Knight Heiss hit a go-ahead three-pointer, and Tamin Lipsey came up with an offensive rebound in the final seconds to cap number 6 Iowa State Cyclones rally in a 70-67 victory over Big 12 leader and second-ranked Houston Cougars on Monday night. Heiss was 3 for 3 from three-point range hours after sister Taylor Heiss scored to help the U.S. women's Olympic hockey team beat Sweden 5-0 to reach the gold medal game in Milan. The Cyclones improved to 23-3 and 10-3 in the Big 12. They closed with a 17-4 run to take down the second top 10 team in 3 days. Iowa State topped number 8 Kansas 74-56 on Saturday. The Cougars fall to 23-3 and 11-2 in the Big 12. They had their 6-game winning streak snapped, and their conference lead was cut to a half game over number 4 Arizona heading into their matchup Saturday in Houston. Iowa State is third, a game behind Houston. Heiss hit a three-pointer from the left corner with 1:17 to play to give the Cyclones a 69-67 lead. Houston had 2 chances to tie or take the lead, but was called for a shot clock violation with 43 seconds to play. Then Chris Senick Jr. missed a shot with 4 seconds left. Blake Buchanan was fouled after rebounding Senick's miss. but missed the front end of a one-on-one, and Lipsy, though, got an offensive rebound, tapping the ball back to Joshua Jefferson, who was fouled with a second left. Jefferson made his first free throw for the final margin. Jefferson led Iowa State with 12 points, Heiss had 11, and Buchanan had 10. Kingston Flemings led Houston with 22 points. Emmanuel Sharp had 16 points, all in the first half. Milos Uzan had 11 points. Houston hosts number 4 Arizona on Saturday, while Iowa State is at number 23 BYU on Saturday. Cameron Boozer had 22 points and 12 rebounds to help number 3 Duke Blue Devils rout the Syracuse Orange 101-64 on Monday night. Isaiah Evans scored 21 points. Nicholas Kaminia added 14 points off the bench, and Patrick Ngungba and Caden Boozer each had 12 for the Blue Devils, who improved to 24-2 and 13-1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They looked primed for a weekend non-conference showdown with top-ranked Michigan. Duke shot 62.3% from the field, including 12 for 20 from three-point distance. Boozer shot 8 for 10 from the field and finished with the 14th double-double of his freshman season. William Kyle III scored 12 points, and Nate Kings added 10 for Syracuse, who falls to 15-12 and 6-8 in the ACC. They failed to carry the momentum from back-to-back victories for the first time since winning 3 straight in January. The Orange were slowed by 41.3%, 26 for 63 shooting from the field, and 37%, or 10 for 27 from long distance. Syracuse didn't surpass its season low of 59 points until a minute and 21 seconds remained in the game. Duke reached the 100-point mark for the 4th time this season and the first time since November 21st. The Blue Devils have won 3 straight games since their last second loss at rival North Carolina on February 7th. The Blue Devils made a variety of dunks and lay-ins while hitting 13 of their first 14 shots in the second half, while stretching their lead to 74-45. They shot 9 for 12 in the second half from three-point distance. Duke used an 11-0 run to end the first half for a 40-24 lead at the break. The Blue Devils shot 51.7% before the break. Syracuse was at 32.2%, including 4 for 16 from distance. Syracuse will host number 16 North Carolina on Saturday, while Duke faces number 1 Michigan in Washington. Denny Hamlin has a plan for improving racing at Daytona International Speedway, and it involves going faster. He has already spoken to NASCAR executives about it too. Hamlin shared his idea for fixing the Daytona 500, which has become a fuel mileage event since the debut of the next-gen car in 2022, with everyone else after celebrating his first victory as team owner in the Great American Race. The latest iteration of NASCAR's stock car is a safer version of anything previously seen in the series, but it also delivers slower laps at super speedways like Daytona and Talladega and leaves cars bunched up like never before. Hamlin met with NASCAR earlier this week and discussed letting teams devise a racing package they could test during the exhibition clash if it returns to Daytona next year. If it works, the tweaks could potentially be rolled out before 2028. Reddick's crew chief, Billy Scott, was less confident that the fuel mileage strategy would be altered, with the evolution of the Cup Series car creating little chance of manipulating parts and pieces. Teams now rely more on making stops on pit road on race day. They put new tires on less often and try to save fuel by running less than full throttle. The end result is a scenario that takes less time to fill gas tanks during stops, but it also can create lulls in the early and middle parts of race stages. Lindsey Vonn is back home in the U.S. following a week of treatment at a hospital in Italy after breaking her left leg in the Olympic downhill at the Milan Cortina Games. The 41-year-old Vonn suffered a complex tibia fracture that has already been operated on multiple times following her February 8th crash. She has said she'll need more surgery in the U.S. 9 days before her fall in Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. Vonn ruptured the ACL in her left knee in another crash in Switzerland. Even before then, all eyes had been on her as the feel-good story heading into the Olympics for her comeback after nearly 6 years of retirement. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL Sports Wire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Let's check Ag News on the RFD Radio Network.